Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Thanks for tuning in tonight with us. Glad you are with us. We got a fun show planned for you guys. We can't wait to talk to all of you about it. So, at last, we meet for the first time, for the last time. Prepare for ludicrous speed and let's hit the rundown. We got question of the week, Holland news, including Spaceballs 2 and or season finale, topping the charts, baby. Finally, we knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen here. And then we're going to finish it off with Q&A time. So we got some more questions we didn't get to last week, but go ahead and submit yours if you have any burning questions right now, and we'll try to keep track of them. But then also, whenever we start the Q&A time, we'd love to hear from you guys if you guys got any questions. It could be about Star Wars, it could be about anything, as long as it's appropriate for us to talk about, and we will discern that as well. All right, well, let's meet a few of us here. It's a skeleton crew. We got a skeleton crew tonight of people. And we're excited to get into it. So may the Schwartz be with us all. But you already met me, but you know me. And then we got the fact checker. What's up, fact checker?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Excited to be here.
Are you?
Yeah, always.
You're already laughing.
Yeah, because I was thinking the FC could also stand for a funny comedian.
Wow.
Yep, I got it.
I think you had a stroke in the middle of that. The funny comedian.
I know. Dang it. I ruined it.
Oh, my God. No, that's totally fine. But speaking of comedians, who is with us tonight in the chat?
We've got some great gonkers hanging out already.
I love the gonkers.
Bismo's hanging out. He is excited to watch the watch-along with us.
Watch the watch along with us.
Yeah. Do you want to let people maybe know what we're doing?
Yeah, we can say that right meow. So right after this stream, we're going to be doing a members only live stream where we are going to be doing a live watch along to Spaceballs, the first movie. And this is going to be special in some ways because the fact checker has never seen this movie. The fact checker has never seen this movie. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Mm-hmm. Not exactly a huge fan of certain things. So it's just not for kids. Just going to warn you guys, not for kids, but I think it'll be a good time. So if you're not a member yet, now is a great time to become a member. It's less than a candy bar a month, and you get an extra live stream every week, and sometimes some extra stuff in there as well. So we'd love to have you over there watching that with us. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, should be fun. What I have seen, like little clips of this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh gosh, are you kidding me? I mean, some of it looks funny, but yeah, it's interesting.
It is an absolute classic fact checker. I mean, it's hard to be a Star Wars fan and not have seen this movie. So it's just we're making wrong things right tonight with you watching this movie.
Perfect.
And to be honest, it's been so long since I've seen it. I've only seen this movie probably like once or twice.
Okay.
So and it's been a long time. I need to watch it again. So I'm glad that we can watch it with everybody. Mm-hmm. But let me know who else is with us. I don't want to miss any gonkers or any lurkers out there.
Exactly. So speaking of everyone, we've got Hannah Roll, our moderator on Target, in the chat. Yeah, she hasn't seen the movie either. And Tmerkins is also here. She hasn't seen it as well. So a few of us are going to be
We're in good company.
Watching it tonight.
We are in good company.
Absolutely. But they're looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
Sonia is also here hanging out. Good to have
Sonia?
you. And we've got Red Six Down joining us again and has a question. So I already screenshot it, and you just let me know when you want to get to those.
All right. Did you say Red Six Down? You just said that, didn't you? I'm so sorry. I was sorry. I was reading. I'm really sorry. I see you. I see you. Don't worry.
We see you twice.
We see you twice, apparently. But cool. Mm-hmm. Let's keep going then. We got lots to get into tonight. So thank you for being here with us, Gongers. Yeah. We appreciate every one of you. And before we move on, don't forget to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us so we can continue to grow this wonderful community together. Because with all of us together, we can make Star Wars. You ready, fact chatter? Cheddar?
Okay.
Cheddar
Funny
cheese.
cheddar.
Funny cheddar. Bring the cheddar cheese tonight. You ready?
Yep.
We can make Star Wars.
Yes, you interrupted yourself.
We got to work on our comedic timing here, fact checker. We're a little off our game.
Okay.
We've been dealing with some sickness and stuff like that, so we're trying to get back on. Don't you worry. By the end of the stream, we will be firing on all
Locked
cylinders.
on target.
Pew 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 pew. All right. Well, since that went so well.
Yep. Oh, we're not gonna do it again?
No.
Oh man.
It's one and done. Fact checker.
Okay. Well, I mean, I said it.
You did well. We just didn't quite get our timing down.
No, we didn't.
We'll get it. Don't worry. All right. Well, let's jump into question of the week. This week's question goes along with Spaceballs 2 being announced. What is the greatest Star Wars parody? In your opinion, what is the greatest Star Wars parody? There are a lot here. I'll name off a few for everybody, just so you guys kind of get an idea. I haven't seen all of these. So we got Laugh It Up, Fuzzball, The Family Guy. So Family Guy's done a few of them, I would say.
Oh, okay.
A few parodies with Family Guy. You got Robot Chicken Star Wars 1, 2, and 3, which I have seen, and some of those are absolutely hilarious. Not for kids, but absolutely hilarious. That has to be up there for me. Then The Saga Begins, Weird Al Yankovic. I've never seen that one. George Lucas in Love. I have not seen that one yet either. It sounds like we might have some more watch-along content here.
There we go.
The Hardware Wars, I have seen like minimal. That came out in 1978. That came out like the year after.
Yeah,
that's
really
crazy.
fast.
Yeah, pretty cool. Then they're even throwing in here Toy Story 2, which actually, in a way, it is. There's a lot of similarities there. Mm-hmm. Then we got Thumb Wars, which I know Nick was raving about. Thumb Wars, and I did get to see a little bit of it, but I have not seen the whole thing. It did look hilarious to me. Hopefully, and that one seemed like possibly a little more family friendly in some ways. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen the whole thing, so I don't know. And then Star Wars: The Emperor's New Clones. I don't know about a lot of these. And then I was going to mention it's not really a parody, but in some ways I was going to mention that there's so many YouTube ones out there that are hilarious. I mean, I can't name them right now, but there are some funny parodies out there with Star Wars, and you get all these shorts. But the one guy who does the impressions.
Charlie Hopkinson.
Yeah, I wanted to throw him out there as like we mentioned him multiple times on the channel. Just because some of his stuff is so funny, and his watch along content is kind of parodying the actual current stuff and the movies. And original, and I think he went through and did like a lot of the Clone Wars, a lot of stuff like that. So just absolutely hilarious. I would throw that up there pretty high too, because some of that just cracks me up. So, all right, well, let's get to some of these answers. Fact checker, what do you think? What are you thinking? Fact checker?
Which one am I gonna say?
Yeah, do you have a favorite Star Wars parody? You haven't really seen
limited, viewing. You've probably showed me the robot.
You haven't even seen Spaceballs.
No, I haven't. You've probably showed me the robot chicken though. Like that sounds maybe familiar, but I would go with. Toy Story, because I'm sure I've seen that. It's just been a long time.
Yeah,
I'm sure I laughed.
That's a good movie. Toy Story 2, that's a good movie, and they definitely have a lot of like Luke's Darth Vader crossover stuff, which is hilarious.
That's awesome. It's just clever writing in most of those movies.
And that's a family one, so it makes sense for our channel in a lot of ways. All right, for me, I feel like Spaceballs probably is going to be number one for me, just because it's the biggest budget, but also like Mel Brooks is just his comedic timing with a lot of things. I think we're going to laugh more than we expect tonight, although I don't always enjoy some of the crude humor that he throws in there. I think sometimes he overdoes that, but he does know how to bring in some silly humor, which I enjoy as well. Nice. So that one's up there. Robot Chicken though, for sure. Charlie Hopkins.
Yeah, I have enjoyed those.
Yeah, they're funny, man. But the Robot Chicken one probably next to Spaceballs for me, because there's just some hilarious content. I haven't seen a lot of the Family Guy ones, so again, we don't really watch a lot of crude humor, I guess you could say. So, but what's the Gonkers? What are they saying? Fact checker. Yeah. They're the ones who have the real answers here.
For sure. So Bismo started off saying obviously Spaceballs.
Obviously, yes.
We know what he's excited for.
I almost said like obviously Spaceballs is one, and then list your favorite
Yeah.
after that.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
might not be some people's favorite. So
That's true. That's true. Yep. Sonia said Family Guy.
Okay.
So that's cool.
yeah.
And Merkin said the only one I've seen is Toy Story 2 parody. I Am Your Father scene, which she did enjoy.
Yes, it's a nice. I mean, and they've done that in so many other things than just. I mean, you could probably, if you really looked into it, there's probably a lot more parodies out there if you just take like certain scenes and stuff like that. But all right, there was another. I forget what it was called now. There was another one.
Do you remember who was in it?
I don't. Anyway, we'll move on.
It'll come back to you tonight when you're sleeping.
Yeah, it will. Exactly. I'll wake up in the middle like, oh, I remember that movie was.
Perfect. You can jump in the video, tonight's stream, but the comment section.
And I'll post it in there. Hey guys, I just remembered it's like 2:00 in the morning. All right, nice. Let's keep going here. That was the question of the week.
Yeah.
That was it.
Good stuff.
All right, cool. Well, also, I wanted to announce here as well tonight that we were going to be live this Friday doing a special stream. Speaking of Bismo, we're going to be live with Bismo, and we're going to be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. And we're looking forward to that and playing that game, and we're jumping on the hype train for getting Battlefront 3 made. We are on board, although I do have some opinions and thoughts on that, but I'm going to reserve those for the live stream on Friday. Looking to go live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So obviously figure out what that is in your time zone. But we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bismo, great friend of the channel. If you haven't yet, go on over, comment, subscribe to his channel. Tell him that we sent you and that you love him.
Aww.
Do it. All right. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely be there. We're going to have a blast, and we're going to be blasting a lot of things. Pew, 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 pew. We did it.
Yeah.
We're getting, see, our comedic timing. It's locking in, baby.
We're getting on target.
Ludicrous speed.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So that'll be a good time. Obviously he's going to destroy me because he's so good. I don't even know if I'll be able to play. I'll probably just have him play and I'll talk about it.
We can just cheer on Bismo.
Yeah, that's what we do, because
learn from the master.
Learn from the master, because if you've been watching this channel long enough, we did do a live stream where all of us tried to, it was like 1v4 against Biz and
you guys
Rocket League, and we got
failed.
owned. We got destroyed. Absolutely wrecked. So much so I haven't even played the game since. I cry myself to sleep every night.
You haven't even played.
And then I wake up and
well, how are you
going to
get better if you don't play?
Well,
you give up.
I give up. He beat me that bad. But,
oh no! So this will be fun.
It'll be fun. It's gonna be fun. No, that's what I'm saying. I'll probably just watch him, the master, like you said.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Hannah said, "Yeah, yay, Bismo! That should be a really fun stream." And Bismo said, "Heck yeah, I'm pumped. Been playing lots lately," which he has. I've been watching. And
that sounded
said
creepy.
The community is back. What?
That sounded creepy.
No, I didn't. Oh gosh.
I've been watching.
No. I've been enjoying the stream. That's all I meant.
I know. I like to make things weird.
Yeah, thanks.
Comedic timing. We got it down.
No, you need to work on it.
We're getting it. Oh, we got Oscar in the chat. What's up, Oscar? Thanks for jumping in, man. Appreciate it. He says, hello, Gonkers. Oh, yeah.
Yep, and you got Battery right behind you.
Battery right
he
there.
He is back.
Yep. Gonk. I don't have the sound. I need to get the soundboard thing.
Yeah,
we got to get from Dan.
You know how to do it.
Yeah, we'll get it. All right, cool. Well, let's jump into some HoloNet news. I don't have a stinger.
Oh, we need the stingers
I know, we
too.
need to get the
Okay.
Well, Studio B is always evolving, so we're trying to get up to par with Studio A. But the HoloNet news that we got for you guys. Let's start with Andor. We'll finish it with Spaceballs because we're pretty excited about that one. Mm-hmm. Andor Season 2, the finale, got number 1 on the Nielsen ratings list. So the Nielsen streaming list, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it almost cracked 1 billion views. So it got 931 million minutes watched, and that is from the time frame of May 12th to May 18th, which is I think the last 3 episodes. So some people are criticizing that it was technically 3 episodes. So the numbers are a little tough to figure out there, but still, we're gonna chalk it up as a win, man. That the last 3 episodes definitely deserved it. I mean, those were peak Disney Star Wars for me. I don't know if Dan was here; he'd be saying the same thing. But definitely peak Disney Star Wars, absolutely epic. Even Star Wars Theory gave it some praise, which he didn't even want to watch in the beginning. We've talked about that in past streams as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad he was able to come around on that one because it was worth it. Even if like the only thing you see from Andor is like the last 3 episodes, you're not going to be disappointed. Or 4 episodes.
Yeah, for sure. I know different ones are currently watching it with family members, and which is huge, to be going through it. And I think you were recommending last week just to keep going because it gets better and epic, and it's worth it to stay locked in.
Right. And we gave it, so we did a full episode or Star Wars tier list last week on the members only, and we had a tough time figuring things out, but the conclusion we kind of came to in a lot of ways with Andor is it doesn't always matter. It does, but it depends on how you end. And with Andor season 2 specifically, it ends great. And the way they end it makes up for a lot of maybe some slow parts here, some stuff that they could have done without. So that was one of the biggest things. Even when we were going through the tier list, we're like, but this, it's kind of missed opportunities. This one just didn't quite hit the same. But this one, it landed, and that's why we gave it such a high rating. But if you guys want to watch that, you got to become members and watch that too. Another plug.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
It was fun.
But yeah, 931 million minutes watched. So that even beat out Bluey for once.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? They weren't too far behind, which is crazy. They were at 922 million views.
Oh, wow.
But it's just cool. It definitely well deserved. Did you want to say anything more on that, fact checker?
Well, just that we said it in some of our previous streams talking about Andor that, it's Star Wars history, unfolding, before our eyes. And this is going to be talked about for a long, long time. So you want to jump on the train if you can.
Yeah, for sure. And
enjoy it with us.
Yeah, exactly. With everyone. And that's the thing, to your point, actually, what you were saying earlier, the fact that people are excited to show their friends and family this series, I think speaks volumes. Because it hasn't really, I don't know, there hasn't been a lot lately that you really are excited to show your friends and family. I mean, For me, as a Star Wars fan, I'm like, I kind of pick and choose what I think people will actually like, depending on who they are. And I'll tell them what I think they'll like. I'll tell them about maybe certain shows and be like, hey, well, yeah, there's some really cool redeeming qualities to this. But,
whoa. God bless you. Okay.
Perfect timing that I switched the camera.
Oh, nice.
Wow. That came out of nowhere. Anyway, like we said, a little bit of sickness we're trying to get over here. So, so it just speaks volumes to Andor season 2 and Andor in general, that again, it grew slowly over time, and that it is people are excited to show it to people. That's the thing. They're excited to show it to their friends. And also, just like some of the clips online. Again, I see moments from Andor season 1, Andor season 2, and I'm like, yes, just that moment alone is pretty dang epic. So, hats off to Andor season 2, Tony Gilroy, everybody who was able to make that a success that I think it is. And I think it should be viewed by more people, honestly.
I think it's still going to be because there is rewatchability, and there are plenty of people that, like we just talked about, that are sharing it with others. So, more and more people are going to continue to pull it up and catch up and enjoy. And
that's what happened with season 1 too. It steadily grew over time to the point where Andor season 2 was able to hit it.
Especially because it's still in the news. I mean, without even them, I don't think they're doing the press tour as much anymore. Like they were on a full press junket, whatever, for months. Yeah.
They were hyping this one
before
up.
And during the airing of this season, but I don't know that they're out there as much now. So, but yet it's still in the news. It's still being talked about. I see it all over socials and
socials.
Now this.
You're so up with the times.
I try.
On my socials. Yeah. I like what Biz has to say here. Definitely a lot of minutes to be watched, but regardless, was peak. Yes, yes. It's a bit. I will say if you go back and watch our watch-alongs to this, the second arc was probably the toughest for us. The first one wasn't bad, but the second one we were like, oof. And I think some people at the same time, but then it just got better. And one of my favorite characters to come out of Andor still for me is Luthen. I just think he, in combination with all the other characters, is kind of peak Star Wars new character, one of the newest ones. Not like Marak, who got dusted. Hurts me still to say that, but so great news there. We were pretty pumped about that, and
yeah, and I mean, well, Tamerkins has talked about it, and I've heard others talk about it. There's those other books that are coming out that you got to read or catch up on.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. I know. I got to look into that a little bit more. I'd love to listen to some of those, see how they line up with the Andor series all together. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. Good stuff. And I hope, my hope though, in a lot of ways, is that I hope they can get Tony Gilroy back, if not to like totally direct or even as just like a consultant.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if he could direct or write.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't like that,
too.
but yeah, even just like a consultant for the writing,
Yeah.
to like look at the overall story and even just like tighten things up for him. Yeah, I think that would be a great role for him. I don't know if he'd be as excited about it. He might have to be fully invested in it for him to really, because with this, you could see it was a passion project in a lot of ways for him. But I hope he comes back. I hope he does more. I think if you get this quality of writing, and I still think that one of the best ones that he could possibly do would be, because he knows how to do dark tragedies, and tragedy works really good with the Sith. And I think one of the best ones he could do still is the Bane trilogy.
Nice.
If you gave him the Bane trilogy, I just don't know how he is with adapting material. If he likes doing his own stuff.
Probably prefers,
that's kind of the challenge with a lot of these directors, a lot of writers. They don't love adapting work.
Yeah.
And that can be challenging to do anyway. So.
Well, KG just made a good point. She said, so yeah, good to see you, KG, and Carla Hawkins
What's
also
up, KG? What's up, Carla? Thank you for jumping in.
KG said there's other parts of his team that could continue to help with Star Wars, such as Dan Gilroy, Bo Willman.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, for
that's
sure.
That's a great point.
That's a fantastic point there.
He's got all the hype because he was the mastermind behind all this. But
right, the main creative.
The others were obviously part of the team.
Right, for sure. Bismo said something here too.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up.
Cool.
Bismo also said, I've also started to appreciate season 1 more on the rewatch. When a second season is done right, it can make hang on, I lost it.
Oh no. Here, you want me to read it?
No. Done right, it can make a first season of a show that much better. Are you winking? Oh, I see what you're doing.
He's definitely winking at you.
You know what? I'm right there with you though, man. I actually, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Ahsoka. But I'm rooting for Ahsoka. I want Ahsoka to be great.
Okay,
so I'm really hoping that the retro, the second season, I hope they knock it out of the park and I can be just as excited about that I am for Andor. So yes, that's a great point. And you know what? That's fair, dude. That is totally fair. I get your point there. All right, cool. Well, let's keep moving here and jump on into Spaceballs 2. Even saying that sounds
it's like, just so weird. Well,
it's a goofy thing, but
should I tell them what I told you earlier?
Sure, go ahead, fact checker.
That I'm so out of the loop with some of this stuff that I saw the announcement on probably Instagram or something. And I didn't even know what I was watching. I was like, that's a clever way to recap things that have happened in 20 years, 30 years, whatever.
You're outing yourself.
I know. So I'm learning a lot through all of this. I love it.
No, that's totally fine. That's fair. And I think there's going to be a lot of people, honestly, with the newer generations especially, that may have just missed it completely.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting time for it to come out.
Okay.
Especially now. It seems like if they would have done it, it would have been during the hype. But maybe there just wasn't enough Star Wars content to come out.
Yeah.
And when would you have dropped it? That's the thing.
I don't know.
But I mean, now it's funny. Now they're doing it, and it's like, but even in their promo, which we should get to.
Yeah, we need to show.
We should show that stuff.
Real fast. Sorry, jumping back. Tamerkin said, "I want to book Andor TV series of what happens to Clea. Headcanon that she plans the operation that takes out the second Death Star.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
I mean, you might have to participate in writing this, Tmerkins,
Yeah.
because you know your stuff.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
that would be awesome to
See. That would be cool to see.
Yeah,
I'd be
definitely.
okay with that. Clea wasn't my ultimate favorite character. Because she wasn't really the mastermind as much as Luthen was.
They turned her into that in the end, which feels a little off because of how it started.
It's a little bait and switchy to me in some points. I'm not saying I don't like her. I think she was fine. I liked certain moments with her. Luthen, man, he just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Park for me. Although this newer, I haven't seen her in anything else. So to be fair, I think her acting was great acting. I'm not.
This was her first acting job, I believe.
Whatever. I thought she had some play work or something like that.
Well, yeah, but like,
not in like big.
Yeah.
Right. But she definitely knocked it out of the park. So, but yeah.
Okay.
That would still be cool, but she'd be leading it with the Bothans. So she was in charge of the Bothans.
yeah. That's what did you see what KG said?
No, I didn't.
I can see Clea setting up the Bothan spy network. And also
that would be
said,
cool.
Clea and Luthen were a duo. One couldn't have achieved what they did without the other. Fair point.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying anything against Clea. Just personally for me, I like Luthen, and I feel like she had to have learned a lot, and he kind of passed the torch to her in some way. So yeah, I think that would actually be a great role for her, as if she did help plan the Bothan spy, because I mean that leans right into it as well. Maybe even Andor's son. No, he'd be too young. Never mind. Forget that.
Do you know if it's a boy?
That was a terrible one. Oh yeah, I guess we don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Wow, how sexist of me. Sheesh.
I'm just kidding.
I'm saying I don't like Clea. Now I'm saying it's a boy.
Oh, boy.
What a sexist dude I am. No.
No, you're not.
I love women.
Okay,
that
sounds creepy. Let's move back on to
Let's
Spaceballs.
go back to Spaceballs.
Gosh.
We're getting our comedic timing down though.
yeah, we got this or something. And then KG, before all of this, said, "Well, dang it, Bisma."
Oh no!
Be careful now, Dustin.
I know. I'm joking. I'm happily married.
KG said, "May the Schwartz be with y'all."
Yes, may the Schwartz be with you as well.
Somehow, Spaceballs return.
Yeah, seriously. Wait, where is that? I need to put it up. Dang it.
Scroll up a bit. It was before we went back to Clea.
Oh yes, that is brilliant. Somehow Spaceballs return. Yes, and may the Schwartz be with you all for sure. Oh man, I'm looking forward to watching that. It's gonna be fun. Definitely become a member if you're not, and watch that with us. All right, great points, everybody. Back to Andor now. Yeah, Dustin,
just
careful
jumping
now.
back and
all right, I'll be careful. I'm sorry, that was a weird thing to say. Didn't mean it in a weird way.
Sure.
Okay, cool. I was vindication here. Look at this. Oscar says it's a boy, according to Gilroy. Boom. Can we fact check that? Fact checker?
I believe Oscar. He was there in the room.
Oh, that's true.
With
He
Gilroy,
was there.
So
yeah. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. Oscar is on target.
I didn't doubt you for a second, Oscar.
Yeah. Retract that quickly.
Right. Exactly. All right. Now we're back on to Spaceballs 2, going ludicrous speed. And so there's a lot here. We've prepared.
Yeah.
We've actually prepared some stuff. Look at this. No. So this is the trailer here. We got some images. Fact checker got some images
from
ready
the
to
trailer,
rock.
Because basically it's a scroll is the trailer, and then you get someone at the end.
Did you want to go through this?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's pretty funny.
Is.
It's one of the funniest things I've seen in a while, and it's just text.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was really clever. So it got me, but I didn't get the full context, which is normal.
Yeah. And I have thoughts on this. We'll go through this, and then I'll give a little bit more of my thoughts on what I hope to see with Spaceballs 2. Do you want to read this, fact checker? You were the one.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
You read as far as you can.
All right. 38 years ago, there was only one Star Wars trilogy. That's a great point. But since then, there have been... This is so great. A prequel trilogy, a sequel trilogy, a sequel to the prequel, a prequel to the sequel, countless TV spin-offs, a movie spin-off of the TV spin-off, which is both a prequel and a sequel.
Kind of want to label what all these are.
I know, that's the thing. Oh yeah, so
we'll go back. We can go back.
We can go back. Yeah, we'll keep rocking through this. Yeah. But oh my goodness, there's so much more. Where were we? Countless movie spinoff of the TV. Okay, we got not to mention 2 Dunes, 7 Jurassic Parks, 2 Avatars, plus 3 upcoming Avatars, making 5 Avatars. I like how they're throwing in other things, so they're not necessarily just limiting themselves to Star Wars in this. They led with it, so it's still smart.
Yeah.
36 MCU movies with 2 different Robert Downey Jr.
That's insane.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Wow.
Because he's coming back as
Doom. Yeah, that's right.
DC, this is like low blow in some way, but classic Mel Brooks humor in some ways. DCU attempt number 1.
Is that's
the
what's it called?
Yeah, DC is oh man, it's Batman and all that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah, and then DCU attempt number 2, and everybody's always making fun of how dark it is. And I think the DCU attempt number 2, I feel like is gonna be the guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy. He's kind of heading it up now with the new Superman movie that's out. I haven't seen that new Superman movie. I'm gonna have to check it out.
No, it's not out yet. I fact checked
you're
that.
right.
It's in July.
I thought it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Wait, was that the one we fact checked?
Pretty sure.
Was that a different movie?
No, I'm pretty sure it's that one. Don't question me.
All right, let me know, people.
Keep moving on.
All right, an animated Lion King, a live-action animated Lion King, a live-action animated Lion King prequel, 8 Harry Potter movies. Wow, a TV series remaking the same 8 Harry Potter movies, which hasn't even come out yet, which is funny. Wow, there's a lot here. Oh my goodness, a whole streaming service of Star Trek, which is not done well. 7 Alien movies, 2 of which were also Predator movies, not to be mistaken for the 6 Predator movies that are not also Alien movies. 1 Prometheus, which is kind of an Alien movie. 4 Beatles movies, wow, and Oppenheimer.
I love that. That's what
I like how they just threw that in there. And Oppenheimer.
Yeah, epic.
It's just funny. But in 38 years, there has only ever been 1 Spaceballs. Until now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
You didn't have a picture of Mel. Okay,
No,
that's
I thought
fine.
I did.
I don't see it.
Oh. Go up one? Okay. Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Maybe I moved it.
Wait a sec. Maybe. Let's look.
Oh,
there it is.
Okay.
I got it. Boom.
Okay.
Ha-ha! Technology.
There.
There he is. That's Mel Brooks, a legend in his own right. He is 98 years old.
Wow.
98 years
No
old
way,
doing
really?
this movie.
Oh, wow. I would not have guessed that.
And he is coming back to play the iconic character of
okay.
Yogurt. That's the name of the character.
Okay.
It's obviously a spoof of Yoda.
Yeah, that
It's
makes
just hilarious.
sense. He's very wise.
Merchandising. There's some great stuff. And also, speaking of Mel Brooks coming back, there's also going to be some other. Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement specifically for this movie. He was the guy in the 90s who did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He did a bunch of these. He did this movie. Obviously, Spaceballs, one of his most iconic roles, other than the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He's done a lot of great stuff. Comedic actor, absolutely amazing.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he did. Well, did he come back?
Flintstones.
Right. Yes, he was big in the 90s, but
yeah.
but retired so he could take care of his family for a lot of
Little
years.
Giants. Yeah,
he's done a lot of good stuff, man. And so it's so cool that he's coming back. You got Bill Pullman coming back as Lone Star. So obviously, oh shoot, now I'm forgetting his name. Mog, who Barf or whatever his name was from Spaceballs. John Candy. I think he passed away in the 90s, unfortunately, so he won't be back. But anyway, this is some crazy stuff. Crazy that they're announcing it now. And that's why I think it's kind of interesting. We do have a few more details, or at least things that have been rumored. One of the things is that Josh Gad is one of the ones who's working on it.
Yeah.
Which he can be funny in certain situations, although sometimes he can be a bit much. It can be a bit much, too much Hollywood for me.
Sure.
And that's the one problem I have. I hope in some ways that I don't hope, but I think it'd be funny in some ways if he shows up. I think he's supposed to be in it as well.
I could see him being Mog.
Yeah, that's true. He might take over that role.
But he was writing
or
it.
Mog's son.
Barf Jr. says KG.
Oh, yeah, Barf Jr. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, anyway, he's working on it, but also That snuck up on you too. That
Yep.
sneeze.
Yep,
It's
excuse
coming
me.
for us. I'm telling you.
No, I'm healthy. I'm fine.
She throws up.
Oh gosh.
I'm healthy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but also, no, I did hear that it was also the people who created the Star Wars, the Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy are also helping with this.
Whoa, that's cool.
That gave me a lot more hope for this movie, and also just Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the legend.
So
what
follow his recipe, right? Then they can't go wrong.
what Mel Brooks movies? Yeah, exactly. And that's the point I want to get to here in a sec. But before we do, let's. What are some of his movies that you've seen? Have you seen any of his movies?
Oh yeah, I've seen Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Okay, that's what I thought. That one's hilarious. Definitely some inappropriate humor in some ways, but
yeah,
done right can be
it's
funny.
Robin Hood,
Can be funny.
I've seen parts of The Fly, but only.
The Fly. Did he
Isn't
do
that? Yeah.
I don't think he did The Fly.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh man,
just
I haven't
searched
seen that movie. Honestly,
Mel Brooks.
I need to see it. No,
movies.
he also did Young Frankenstein, which is a classic. That one's pretty hilarious as well. A bit older. And then obviously he did this one, Spaceballs, just a classic. He did oh no, I'm gonna forget
Sorry,
the
I'm pulling
Western.
some up.
He's got the Western
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. That's one of his most iconic as well.
Okay.
But he's done a decent amount, and
he's
just
been part of Only. Oh, maybe he was an actor. Oh, he was an actor in Only Murders in the Building.
he's been an actor in a lot of
Nice.
stuff. He's lent his voice. He was in the Robots movie. Do you remember that movie where they were all robots and it was Ewan McGregor? He was like the big inventor robot in that movie. It was
Okay,
Mel
yeah,
Brooks. It was
drawing a
hilarious.
blank.
Anyway,
But yeah, Tamerkin said she told her mom Mel Brooks was doing a Spaceballs 2 movie, and she said, I thought he was dead.
yeah, I mean,
Because, he's old.
He's 98.
That's incredible.
That's crazy. He's 98 years old and doing this. The one thing I want to say to that is record his stuff now.
Yeah.
I mean, get it now. I'm not saying anything bad's going to happen to him. I hope he lives well past 100.
Yeah, and he seems to be in great shape from the trailer.
Yeah, and he was the one who did the trailer, which
I
is
thought
fantastic.
maybe 80, but not almost 100. That's incredible.
I know, absolutely incredible. There's some they should have in this as well. Dick Van Dyke.
That would be cool.
Isn't he the same age?
Yeah.
Either 98 or
is.
99.
He's right up there.
But they should put Dick Van Dyke in there too. Might as well. The two of them would be absolutely hilarious together. I don't know if Dick Van Dyke would do that.
He's 99.
99.
Yeah,
Dude, that would be epic.
awesome.
But anyway, I was just going to say definitely get his scenes and all that stuff made as soon as possible if they haven't already. But what I'm going to go into here is what are the things that we want to see in this? So for me, yeah, KG, Dick Van Dyke is still alive.
He is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I know. We're learning lots of things here tonight. Lots of things. Still crazy to me in some ways that you haven't seen Spaceballs, so it's going to be fantastic for
A lot of us haven't, so I'm not alone.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic for us to watch that together and laugh along and maybe some cringe moments. But
Probably.
for us. But the thing I want them to do, and I'm hoping, because the first Spaceballs movie, the funny thing about it, there are some details about it. The first Spaceballs movie was actually approved by George Lucas. He actually got approval from George Lucas, and
That's great.
Industrial Light and Magic did the effects for the movie.
Oh,
and he
wow.
paid like $5 million, Mel Brooks did, to get that done.
Yikes.
So it's funny, but the one stipulation that he had, which is also hilarious, is George Lucas said they couldn't do any merchandise. They couldn't sell merchandise, which is kind of one of the things that made Star Wars as profitable as it was that George Lucas capitalized on the merchandising. And then in the Spaceballs movie, obviously Mel Brooks leans into it and just says merchandising, which is also hilarious. I just love the fourth wall. Like, they break the fourth wall, I'd say even more than Deadpool at this point. And that's what's so funny about it. And they can laugh at themselves. They can laugh at everything going on and just make fun of everything. And that's my point. I want them to lean into this hard. I want them to, honestly, in some ways, ruthlessly make fun of Star Wars in the state that it's in.
They have the material, right?
I just don't. But the Josh Gad thing is what makes me a little nervous that they might not go as hard as they should. Like, I'm almost
He's
thinking.
pretty funny, though.
So
I like him
Oh,
for the
yeah.
most part.
Yeah, no, he is. I'm not saying I don't. He's funny. Don't get me wrong.
And he's clever.
He is clever. But Yeah, he's just also a product of where he lives.
Well,
sometimes.
absolutely.
But I don't know if they're gonna go. I'm saying like as hard as like
They did in the first one.
yes, in the first one.
More.
But I don't know. That one wasn't too bad in some ways. It was more just making light, and everything was just making fun of. Maybe not as far as the South Park episode of KK, but close.
Did you see that's what Bismo said?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. He said,
Emperor KK. Yes, exactly. I hope they can go that route, but I don't know if they're going to get approval for a lot of these things. That's the only thing that makes me nervous. But Josh Gad is technically in the Disney sphere.
Yeah.
But this is a different studio. This is Amazon, right?
Yeah. Is it?
I think it was Amazon's one doing this with what's the MGM or something like that?
Yeah, it was the Lion.
Yeah, so it's interesting how it's all going to work. I'm just curious to see how it all plays out, and I hope that they make fun of all the horrible tropes that they've done in Star Wars for the last and just not annihilate it, but just give us all a great laugh with it. I just want to be able to laugh at it, and I think if they can do that and they go hard enough, that they will make more money than Star Wars. Just because this movie, it's been so long since they came out with the first one. I've missed parodies and funny movies in general. I just don't feel like there's been as many funny movies lately. So something like this, I hope will be a breath of fresh air, and that they will really be able to stick the landing with this and just make fun of everything and have a great time. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, so I had a theory, and I could be completely off base, but you know how Mark Hamill said he's kind of done, with his character. They wrapped him up well.
Oh, I see where you're going, fact checker.
As what if that's throwing us off the trail because there's plans? I don't know.
That would be. I don't know if if he could at
contract. I know.
But maybe that's why he's saying he's done so that he can go over there and do the parody.
Exactly.
He did I liked him a lot more in the parody in the Rebuild the Galaxy. I think they gave him way more to work with there.
Yeah,
and
for
it was
sure.
A lot more fun. Plus, it was voice acting, which is right up his alley. But yeah, that's a great point. Who here in the chat would you guys love to see Mark Hamill come back in Spaceballs? Absolutely. Get Harrison Ford in there. That'd be so funny too.
Oh yeah.
Get as many as you can and have them make fun of it too.
For sure, of their endings and how horrible that was.
Wouldn't that be absolutely hilarious? Get in John Boyega. Daisy Ridley. Get all the people from the sequels.
Oh my
and
gosh.
just
Well, they probably can't, or she
know,
probably can if
not.
she's going to be in another movie.
Bismo says, I think they can get around copyright and do what they want. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, if it's enough parody, and obviously they name things different and stuff like that, and they don't have to get approval. And he didn't technically have to get approval with the first time.
That was a courtesy.
It was a courtesy, and he was friends with George, and he wanted to make sure, and also I think the biggest part was that he wanted to use Industrial Light and Magic, which that's the other thing, though. They might still need Industrial Light and Magic in some ways. So,
but they're not owned by Disney, are they?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. They bought them too.
Yeah, they bought it all, which is all under the umbrella, basically.
Okay.
So, So, Oscar, yes, we are planning to do a rewatch of Spaceballs tonight.
I said in 30-ish minutes.
In 30-ish minutes. We're going to be going live, dude. But we're live right now. Let's keep going. So, yeah.
We're doing it backwards.
I like that idea,
We're talking about Spaceballs 2 before watching.
Actually, you haven't seen Spaceballs 1. I have seen Spaceballs 1.
Oh, that's true. It's backwards for me, but you guys are on target.
But it's been a hot minute, so I'm looking forward to watching it again. May the Schwartz be with us all. Just a classic Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, so good. Yeah. So, do we think the biggest question we had for tonight? Do we think it's going to make more money? I did already say that I do think it will possibly make more money, especially with the state of Star Wars it's in right now. But they also did the smart thing there of putting in a bunch of other movies they could potentially
roast as well.
Like Dune. I could see them easily doing a Dune crossover type funny thing, and then also the Aliens movies. I think that's why they poked a lot of fun at these.
Sure.
Because I think they might be thinking about incorporating some of technically in the first movie, they did have an alien crossover as well in the Spaceballs.
Oh, wow.
So, which we'll see tonight.
But they did call it Spaceballs The Schwartz Awakens in 2027. So it's got to still mostly be Star Wars.
Wait. That's what they're calling this?
I don't know. That was the screenshot you sent me.
I don't know if that's, I don't know for sure. I think that was speculation. Sorry. I did send you that one. I'm not sure. The funny thing is in the first movie, they said, and come back for the sequel, Spaceballs. Oh shoot! Now I'm gonna forget.
I'll see it soon.
The Quest for More Money. Spaceballs 2: The Quest for More Money. I'm pretty sure is what it's called.
Okay.
And I actually hope that they name it that. I hope that they stick with what they said in the first movie.
Yeah. Sure.
Is that what it's called? Did you fact check that?
No, I can though.
Can you just make sure I'm saying it the right way? But yeah, the Quest for More Money. It's just so good. And in some ways, I hope it slaps. And I hope it. Okay. KG saying the Schwartz Awakens was in that teaser. Okay, so yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Okay,
don't
gotcha.
doubt yourself.
Sorry, I don't know. I was hoping they were going to go with this, and maybe it will be the Schwartz Awakens, the Quest for More Money.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be absolutely hilarious.
That would be, but yeah, that is what they said. The Search for More Money, Spaceballs 2, Yogurt said the line.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's the Schwartz Awakens.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, and by them saying that though, that does mean they're probably going to lean into the sequels heavy. And totally, I cannot wait. There's so much they could pick on in those movies that we've all done here. It's going to be a sequel to a sequel. Yes, it's Biz. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Tamerkin said, I hope that they parody Dune a little bit in there too. I mean, there are Star Wars crossover connections there, so that would be funny.
That would be great.
And
because he was inspired by Dune. Actually, when George wrote it, he was inspired by Dune.
For sure.
That's the voice that they have in Dune, that the Mahdi or whatever you use and all that stuff. That's what gave him a lot of the inspiration for using the Force and how the Jedi mind trick. So that's where he got a lot of that. It's
That's
fascinating.
Cool. And Oscar says he hasn't seen it since the late 80s. So good time to rewatch.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah, I know. It's been a long time for me too. So that's why I'm excited to watch it with everybody tonight. But yeah, let us know in the chat, guys, what you guys think of this. Are you excited to see potentially Spaceballs 2, The Schwartz Awakens? And do you have fond memories of the first one? And if you're watching this back later, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. We appreciate every single one of you. And we will be watching it live here in just a little bit. I see here Ben Bravo. What's up, Ben? Jumped in. He said, I hope they do some stuff with the prequel trilogy as well. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely plenty of...
Yeah.
They have so much content.
Definitely.
I don't even know how they're going to fit it all into like one movie. You know what I mean?
Clever writing. It can be done.
Yeah, because when did
Or part 2 and 3.
when did the first one come out again?
87.
It was 87. Okay, so they had the original trilogy to use that whole time.
Yeah.
To use for their parody in this one. But now they have so much more content. Is what they listed.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is absolutely perfect. So yeah, great point, Ben. I hope they do it with all of it. It's all ripe,
for the picking.
for the pickings.
And yeah, it's nice that it's coming out in 2027 because what we've got, Ahsoka and then Mando Grogu next year. And that's 2026. And then this movie for sure in 2027.
It might be the only Star Wars movie.
That's what I'm wondering because there's
movie
others in the list, but we'll see if they actually come out.
Actually come to fruition. Yeah, it's not shelved. It's not shelved.
Yeah.
Darth KK. Yeah, as Bismo said earlier. Oh my goodness. It's all good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about watching it with you guys, and I'm excited about seeing it come to fruition, this movie. We'll see how it all plays out. I'm just hoping they can deliver and they don't hold back. I hope that they don't hold back when it comes to like making fun of societal stuff, but also the sequels, prequels, all of it. Just make fun of it all. And just make us laugh. Don't like be necessarily like rude about things. But I think they'll be able to pull it off. Mel Brooks has such a good way, and his style of humor is just it's great. So
it'd be great if they did make more money than some of the Star Wars movies, because that's what you're comparing it to.
Yes.
Some of the other movies. Yeah, we'll see.
I think it will.
You're calling it now.
I think it will. As long as they're able to actually pull this off. That's the thing. I don't know how far along they are actually in like production or pre-production. That's the thing. They only did an announce.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, if they did an announcement,
They have it written.
then yeah, they got stuff going.
Should be filming soon, I would think.
Right. I'd hope so. You got to get on that, especially with because that would be terrible in some ways if he announced it. Mel Brooks announces it. He's coming back as Yogurt, and then he passes away, and then you have to recast Yogurt.
Goodness,
that would throw off.
Maybe
a lot.
he's already filmed his.
They might
scenes.
have, but
interesting.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Zarhimoto jumped in and said, "Lurkin, love Target, stay on target." Sweet, thank you for lurking. We love the lurkers. We love the lurkers here at Stay on Target. You guys are just as important as everyone,
Absolutely.
as us. So.
Oh, Bismo asks a good
Oh
question.
yeah. Well, that leads us into the next segment too.
Nice.
But let's do this question, and then we'll jump into the Q&A section. So we already got one question here. Deep fake yogurt says. Sorry, Oscar said deep fake yogurt. Oh, I can already hear Nick's rant with that.
Yep.
Oh man, people
Everyone
would be
can
ranting
hear it in their head.
Yeah, people would be ranting about that. The deep fake yogurt. That'd be hard to pull off. I mean, they could do it. But.
Yeah, they could do it.
All right,
but can they do it good enough for Nick?
No, never. What did the first do money-wise, says Bismo here.
Yeah,
fact checkers
so
fact-checking
it
right
grossed just under $40 million domestically.
And that's 1987.
Yeah, and let's see how much it cost.
Right. I wonder if you could adjust that for inflation and all that good stuff.
Almost $23 million. So they made money.
Not a ton.
No.
But it did grow over time. It wasn't actually a huge box office blockbuster box office. It didn't blow it up.
Well, neither was Star Wars when it came out.
No, Star Wars was a huge blockbuster when it came out.
That's what I
Princess
meant.
Bride is what you were thinking of.
Yes.
Princess Bride was not a huge blockbuster success, but
it
kind of took the same thing where it got a cult following, and then more and more people watched it on VHS and I don't know, it was Laserdisc at that time or something like that, but a lot of different things. But it when it came out, it got even more, so they sold more even over time. So. But even if you were to adjust for inflation on that, I'm sure it would be quite a bit. I mean, 1987, even making $40 million in 1987, I'm sure would be quite a bit in today's standards. Whatever, money-wise.
Yeah, let's compare it.
Inflation's a real thing. It sucks sometimes. All right, but that's a great question, Bismo. Thank you for asking that. So we'll see.
Worth today?
Yeah, what's it today?
It would be, $40 million would be $114 million today.
114. Okay. Yeah. So is that just for that's for the whole run?
That was the domestic run.
Okay.
I don't know if it
internet. It probably might not have played internet.
Yeah.
As well. Who knows? Domestic run. That's not terrible. Not great. I mean, you probably wouldn't consider that a box office success.
Yeah. But I think you're right. It was popular in homes or whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah, sorry guys. There's not a great. I'm seeing people in the chat asking where we're watching and stuff like that. It's not like streaming unless you have.
It depends on what you already have.
HBO Max, I think, is the one that it's on right now.
That's what we're gonna watch it. Yeah. I saw it on YouTube TV, Hulu, but live subscription. So so Amazon. No,
you can rent it. You can rent it on there. Apple.
Yeah.
You can rent it a bunch of different places. It's only $4.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you have it
already,
for
free. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we wish there was something a little bit better. If there's a way we could do that, we'd do it for you guys.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do not. But we're gonna jump into the Q&A time.
Yeah.
With everyone here, we had a couple questions from last week that we were unable to get to, so we're gonna answer those now. But also, I want to encourage all of you gonkers out there in the chat. Hit me with some questions, guys. We will answer. We're going to rapid fire through some of these questions and have a good time talking with you guys. Even the lurkers, jump in and shoot us a question. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we actually have a question submitted tonight. So if you don't mind, we'll jump to that. So Tamerkins asked, I finished Cataclysm and Aftermath and want to start a Thrawn book, but I'm confused on which one to start with. Which Zahn Thrawn series do y'all recommend?
Okay, good. Well, it depends on if you want to go canon or technically not canon. personally, I always recommend just the OG Thrawn trilogy, which came out in the 90s. That's Timothy Zahn's first Thrawn trilogy. Now, that is technically not canon, so that is Legends, but I still think it is superior in many ways to pretty much anything that Disney Star Wars has done. But yeah, I will say if you want to stay in that similar timeline, that's the thing, then go with the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy. That is a good trilogy as well. Now, for me, I didn't love that as much as the original, but there was still some great stuff. Zahn wrote it, and he did a great job, and he always knows how to write good Star Wars content and just story in general. So definitely, it depends. It depends on what that's canon. Sorry, the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy is also canon, so you can definitely go into that if you want to stick, and that's close to the same timeline as, because which ones she just finished? She finished Cataclysm, which
and Aftermath.
Temurgens, what?
That was the book following Andor.
So
it's a series, or probably going to be a multi-part.
So is that parallel to like the original trilogy then? Because right after Andor, we go basically into A New Hope. It's probably got to be right around that time.
I haven't read it, so Temurgens will have to
so
let us know.
technically, the Thrawn. So the Thrawn Ascendancy would actually take place before that, I believe.
Okay.
I believe. So.
Oh, here, Temurgens said Cataclysm was the one about Galen and Krennic.
Okay, so it would be similar time frame. Similar.
Yeah,
nice. I think Thrawn Ascendancy is technically before that. But yeah, so if you want to stay in canon and you want to get to know Thrawn a lot more, then go with the Thrawn Ascendancy. If you want my personal favorite, that is more of a sequel to the original Star Wars and was written in the 90s, but absolutely fantastic. I think it's amazing. Do the original Thrawn trilogy. It doesn't necessarily have like another title to it. It's just the Thrawn trilogy.
Nice.
He had to add another title because he did another Thrawn trilogy.
That's so funny.
It's cool that he got to do it though.
Yeah.
But those are absolutely epic. So whichever one you want to, it's up to you. Whichever one you want to choose there. So I think we've answered that quite well. But there are 6 canon Thrawn books.
Well, are the Thrawn trilogy and then the Ascendancy, that's the 6?
Well, technically, the original Thrawn trilogy is not canon.
Oh, okay. Here,
it's Legends now.
Oh, sorry.
Technically.
You said that, yeah.
Unless there's more books that I'm unaware of.
Yeah, I think that's what they're getting into.
Okay, maybe. Did he even make Mask of Fear is the new trilogy that takes place right at the beginning of the Empire, Aftermath, which all right, moved. Sorry. Maybe I'm getting things mixed up.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like that much, was about the end of the Empire. Oh, okay. That's the end of the Empire. Okay, so then, yeah. All right, Bismo's saying, before Ascendancy, there is a canon trilogy that just starts with Thrawn. 9 books in total. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe I must have, I'm out of the loop on some of this then. I didn't even know about those. I'll have to check those out. Apparently they have, you guys gonkers have more of the facts than I do. I need to look those up.
I've some homework to do.
Personally, I've only read the Thrawn Ascendancy and the Thrawn trilogy. So
yeah.
I wasn't aware of some of these other ones, or I missed it somehow. So.
But it doesn't sound like she can go wrong either way.
Yeah, I mean,
any which way.
Any which way with Thrawn. Thrawn's just a great character, and Timothy Zahn, he's a great writer when it comes to this stuff. So I'm going to have to check out more. Man, now I got more reading to do. Dang. All right, cool.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And then earlier tonight, where'd it go? Red 6 Down asked, why are we underestimating the Mandalorian Grogu and Star Wars Starfighter? Both are focusing on non-force sensitives post Andor, which is smart play. Can we start over?
Yes. I'm
so
sorry.
Why are we underestimating the Mandalorian Grogu and Starfighter?
Oh, why are we underestimating them? I don't think we're necessarily underestimating. I think just based off of what we heard, also with the way the Mandalorian season 3 ended, and just season 3 in general, I feel like for a lot of Star Wars fans, and me personally, I guess I don't want to speak for everybody, but me personally, it didn't quite capture the imagination the same as the first 2 seasons did. They went a little wonky, in my opinion, a little bit bait and switch again there. They kind of switch things up, which I didn't necessarily despise. I just didn't feel like there was a lot more in that series that I was like, well, that didn't really make a bunch of sense. And I don't know. Things just didn't really hit as well as the first and second season for me. And then from what we've learned about this movie, at least from what we know now again, that could change, and they might be able to pull it off really well. So and maybe we are sleeping on it too much, and maybe we'll be blown away, which I'm hoping we get blown away with this. But from what we've heard, it sounds like it's more of a long TV episode turned into a movie with, Jabba's son, and then Embo being the villain, who was a, kind of the side character in the Clone Wars. Still a cool character. I really like Embo, but is he like main villain stuff for people that have never seen the Clone Wars? Or it's just going to be interesting. So I don't know. We're not necessarily sleeping on it. I just don't know if there's as much hype as there could have been if season 3 was fantastic. And the way they handle Grogu and all that stuff, it just, Baby Yoda, they kind of missed the mark in a lot of ways. And they brought in Bo-Katan, but they didn't commit to like the relationship there. So hopefully they'll commit on that. I think if you do that, I think if they commit to the relationship with Din Djarin and Bo-Katan, and we get Dimbo or Bowden, then I think it could be great. I think that people would really get behind that. They need another love story in Star Wars. That's one of the things. They've been missing a love story in Star Wars. So that would definitely help in a lot of ways. I just don't know with how they ended it, where they're going to go, and how they're going to pull it off. So I'm not sleeping on it, but I just don't feel like in the state of Star Wars that we're in for what they're telling us we're going to get, I don't think it's going to be gangbuster numbers as far as I can tell. Although it is another Star Wars movie in theaters, and I think that's going to help. And it depends on how they market it. Yeah. But can they deliver? That's the biggest question. Jon Favreau, I really like Jon Favreau.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I just don't know how much of him is in it, because I think Dave Filoni gets the final cut in some ways. And it sounds like already Dave Filoni's self-inserting a lot of his characters again from Clone Wars, stuff like that. So, and that doesn't always work out well. Sometimes it does, but so that's why I'm tentative. And the other thing, the Star Wars Starfighter, I'll believe it when I see it. That's the biggest thing. I mean, they did bring out Ryan Gosling, and who's I forget his name, the director.
Yes.
Sean Levy.
Yes.
Sean
Nice.
Levy. Okay, I can remember things sometimes.
You got it.
Sean Levy, they did bring him on stage and stuff like that, but we have also seen like teasers for things in Star Wars, and they have not delivered on that. Actually, from the same thing. Basically, it almost sounds like they got rid of what's her name, who was gonna do the Rogue movie or the Rogue One movie or whatever. Not Rogue One, but the Starfighter previous one. But then they got shelved. But it's not shelved.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't shelved. Maybe it was just totally redone by a totally different person. So
I know.
So I'll believe it when I see it. That's the thing. I think
there's good potential.
It's got great potential. I actually like him as an actor.
Yeah.
In certain situations, I thought the Free Guy movie was absolutely hilarious.
That was
I thought
good.
he did a great job in that. It was super likable. But Sean Levy's got great stuff. Now, will it be R rated or will it be PG-13 rated? I don't know which way they're going to go there. It sounds like probably PG-13, but I don't know. These guys kind of work more in the R space in some ways. So we'll see. I'm not sleeping on it. I'm just more like waiting to see if it actually happens. That's more. If we know it's happening for sure, then even Sean Levy during the interview thing was like, "Oh yeah, we're working on it right now." And he's like trying to. It was just funny when that trailer came out. All of the comments in that trailer were like, "Yeah, we'll see if this ever makes it. I wonder if this will ever happen. This will do." Yeah, it's everybody. I was like, oof. That's how bad it's got though with KK in movies, delivering on movies that she's promised. So
yeah, well, KG said it well. She said Starfighter could be good. Not that you didn't. You did a great job, Justin.
No. I
she also said it well, that Starfighter could be good. Need to know more though. Mando and Grogu concerns me a bit based on the plot details we've heard so far. And so, it's a
perfect sum up.
Red Six Down's question was that, it's both of these two movies are focusing on non-Force sensitives post Andor, which is smart. We agree with that. It's just that, they wrote, at least Mando and Grogu, a lot of it before the success of Andor season 2. So can they infuse some of the, craftiness into Mando and Grogu?
Yeah.
Based on what we've seen, I don't know. It's hard to say.
That's why I say I want Tony Gilroy to just be a consultant on the writing, to be like, okay, maybe shore this up here, maybe make this character a little bit more interesting by adding this to it. Like, what are their motivations? Just stuff like that, because that's what he's really good at. He's good at getting that detail work.
Yeah.
And still accomplishing a bigger thing. But yeah, he's done a great work for sure. So that's a great sum up there. Good job, KG. Always got good stuff.
Yeah, and Tamarkin's. Well, Iñaki jumped in.
What's up, Iñaki from the future?
Oh, glad you could join us.
Yeah, glad you could join in.
Tamarkin said, shoot, where'd it go? Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
At least they gave us Cyril, Deidre, and Cassian Bix, although both end sadly. Yeah, spoilers. They definitely both end sadly. But that's a good point. Yeah, we did get a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, tragic. That's what I'm saying, tragedies. Tony likes writing tragedies.
Yeah.
And the Sith are ripe for tragedies. I'm just saying.
Okay, you're putting it out there.
Bismo's got a good question here. He says, can a movie make it to theaters? That's kind of our point with this Star Wars Starfighter. I think it could be really cool. I know there's like, in my mind when I started, like, I'm like, man, some epic dogfights. Like, do you remember the trailer for that game that they put out?
Which one?
For it was the Starfighter style gameplay. I forget what it's called, but it came out like a few years ago. Unfortunately, the gameplay was a little subpar in my opinion. It felt like you were flying a bus, and it was more kind of made for like actual like VR type stuff. And I think in that regard, it probably would have been awesome. But the trailer for it was on point, and it was all it was an epic dogfight, and even. And to his point, the Starfighter could be one of the coolest parts because Squadron, that's what it is. Thank you. Bismo got it. Thank you, Bismo. Yeah, Star Wars Squadron. The trailer for that was epic, dude. I love the trailer and the way they did that. And some of my favorite moments from season 3 of The Mandalorian was actually the spaceship stuff. So whenever he's flying around in the spaceship, they have dogfights in the air. I'm like, that is so cool. Like, so Rogue, like if they do that Starfighter, that could be a really cool. Make it like Top Gun in Star Wars. I feel like that's probably what they're going to go for in some ways. But if you do like a Top Gun style in Star Wars, yeah, chef's kiss. You're gonna nail it. Do it like that, basically. Yeah, good stuff, guys. That was a great question.
Yeah.
Tony Gilroy, Oscar says Tony Gilroy needs to have. Oh, hang on. Tony Gilroy needs to have a writers seminars and workshops for Lucasfilm's writers. Yes, I completely agree, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about he needs to be a consultant, but yeah, definitely give them all like, hey, you guys are sucking this up. Let's make it a little more interesting. Let's actually have some depth to these characters and even just like motivations. Like, what are these characters' motivations? Does this make sense for the scene? Like, it's really basic stuff that I feel like they've been missing the mark. Can adults chase down a 5-year-old or 8-year-old girl in the woods fairly quickly? Yes. Like, don't try and milk that. That was dumb. So stuff like that. He could probably stir up a lot. Does the scene make sense? Did you contradict yourself from earlier in the script? Like, it's just stuff like this that they do all the time. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's a great point. All right, we have more questions. I'm sorry. We gotta wrap this up here as soon as we can get to watching Spaceballs.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so a few questions from last week. Sonia asked, which Star Wars character would you fight alongside with? Would you fight with, she gave a few options. So Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, or Cara Dune.
That was a lot of choices.
I know, it's awesome.
Say it again.
So which character would you fight along with?
Right.
Boba Fett, Mando, Luke, Han, Chewie, Cara, Dune.
All right. First thing that comes to mind is, first of all, safety. Which one's going to keep me the most safe?
Nice.
I feel like Luke would probably be your safest bet. Just for the sheer force ability that he has.
Yeah.
But you also have to take into consideration, he might also attract the most danger.
Oh.
Han would be hilarious.
Yeah,
just
reckless.
Reckless to fight on. You'd have a good time. That's what I'm saying. You'd have a good time with Han, I feel like.
In a fight? Is that what you're looking for in a fight?
Yeah, I don't know. Chewbacca.
Yeah, that's fair if you are.
Chewbacca's a good right-hand man, though. You know, I think he would be really good. I'm still gonna pick Luke,
Yeah, that makes sense.
but other than Luke, because Luke's my favorite.
Well, that's your
character.
pick.
That's my pick. Luke. Fact
Nice.
checker. What is your
Okay,
pick?
well, I'm going to try and not pick the same.
Would you have picked the same if?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll say Mando because he's got a lot of tools at his disposal to
Yeah,
fight with.
that's a good point.
Has armor too, so I could just stand behind him.
Yeah, that's true. In a lot of the shows, he's just like a tank.
Yeah,
walking
pretty much.
through blasters.
Yeah.
Like, does anybody have a good enough shot to shoot in between the armor? Like,
Yeah. Well,
they always hit. That started to become a bit of a MacGuffin in some ways.
Sure.
You're like, okay,
oh, that's
suspension of disbelief here, people. He's
Oh
not
my
covered
goodness.
completely everywhere. You think
he got
one's-
injured. He didn't have
barely.
armor, over everything, and some of it was weaker than others.
No, it was Beskar. It was, yeah.
Well, he didn't have the full Beskar
We're
suit
getting
right
some.
away.
We're getting some good stuff
I
here,
know,
though.
I love
But
it.
a follow-up question: bar fight or street fight? It depends on who we're fighting too. That's the other thing. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't know. We don't have
There's
that
not
clarification, so
okay.
it's
Just
up
a
to
general
you.
term. All right. Well, in a bar fight or a street fight, I mean, I'd still go Luke. I mean,
You would?
He's gonna
Okay.
sense things.
Bar
before
fight,
they
I'd go Han because
He would fit
he'd be
right
creative.
in. That's true.
to win
and
there.
Luke almost lost in the bar
Oh
fight scene.
yeah, because
in
he
the
wanted
cantina.
to fight traditionally.
You mean cantina fight or
There we go.
or
Yeah.
street fight? Yes. Chewie though, honestly,
Yeah, he'd be good because he's big.
he's big and fast.
He can see what's happening.
and he can rip people's arms off. So maybe Chewie. What were the other options? I forget now. I kind of.
Cara Dune,
Sexist.
Boba Fett. That's it. Yeah. Or that was it.
I
Yeah.
almost said something. Cara Dune, Boba Fett. Boba Fett would be good, but I don't feel like Boba Fett cares about others as much. You know, he's more like, just get the bounty done and over with. Han acts like he doesn't like other people or wants to help them, but deep down he's a softie. He wants to help people. Chewie, he's got great hugs, so he's gonna help you out. So
Yeah.
all right, what are the Gonkers saying? Well, let's get to what I know. Some of them were answering the question.
Yeah,
right?
KG said Han might be the least safest bet there. Again, depending
but
on
would
the
you
location.
have a good time as you're dying?
Oh gosh, I don't think you would die. I think you would come out, but with a few.
He's got
scrapes.
luck on his side.
Yeah.
Does it extend to you?
Well, hopefully.
That's the question.
Chewie stayed alive, but he was also good himself.
Yeah, he was.
So you have to have a little bit of skill to to join forces
hang
with Han.
him. Yeah,
to hang
for
with
sure.
Han.
She said Din is a good choice too.
Yeah, and she
for
said
sure.
she was saying the same thing as me, the fact checker. Din would be a human shield. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also did say the bar fighters, cantina fight.
And then Han would either try to talk his way out of it or just shoot first.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
love
If he knows it's not going to work, just start blasting. That's what I say. All right, Tamergan says Cara Dune would have my back in a cantina fight. Yeah, that's a great point. I would for sure.
Yeah, she can throw down, as KG said.
She can, Cara can definitely throw down. Man, again, sore subject in some ways to me.
I know, but
They really
and
ruined
if
it.
we keep speaking her name, maybe
Don't
just
let her
maybe
name die.
maybe
Cara
she'll be in
Dune, Cara
Spaceballs too.
That would be so funny if
Why
they got her in
not?
Spaceballs.
I mean, seriously.
Whoever's making Spaceballs, Josh Gad, Mel Brooks, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, but if you ever do, these are great suggestions.
Yeah,
Also, it's
absolutely.
another way to stick it to them and it to be even funnier.
For sure. Make money off of,
Disney's
their failure.
fumbles. Yeah, Lucasfilm's that's great.
Let's see. Oscar said, I want ISB Lieutenant Heron and Ally or Hall Encounter. I forget. Is that his name?
Is that
That
the human
K2SO.
The human shield?
Yeah, he was the human shield.
Oh, dude.
Ouch.
Kate just says, as you're dying. Yeah,
Yeah,
what I said
pretty
earlier.
much, yeah.
I'd be laughing as I died with Han.
Yeah.
Comedic timing.
Business said he's going with Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, that's great because there's actual evidence of him having your back in a cantina fight.
Really?
Fact checker. The original trilogy, episode 4, they're in the cantina.
Oh.
I don't like you either. We're wanted men.
Yeah.
Wanted 12 systems. And he pulls the blaster, and what does Obi-Wan do? He cuts off the dude's arm,
Yes,
man. He
okay.
protects him, deflates the whole
Yep,
situation. That's actually a perfect answer. Technically
All
not perfect
right.
because it wasn't in the choices, but on a technicality, we will give it to you, Bismo, because we like you. And that was a great answer. And there's actual evidence of that. So great point. Cage says that would be awesome. She won't return to Star Wars, but could show up in Spaceballs. Yes. That's why it would be so funny.
For sure.
Oh, Hirt, I think it was his
Yeah,
name.
that's right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
KG.
Oscar, he does make a great human shield. Yeah, seriously.
Yep.
What's up, Geek Ledger? Thank you for jumping in the stream. We appreciate having you. I haven't pre-read the question.
He literally just watched Spaceballs. Oh, what?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, what?
No, I just said I hadn't read the question. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Geek Ledger said, I literally just watched Spaceballs last week. I've never laughed so hard at stupid jokes. The execution was incredible.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
some of
it's
the
good hype.
That's some of the comedic timing. Thank you for joining in, man. Yeah, great. And if you have any questions, let us know. We're going to be watching it. If you want to watch it again, we're going to be watching it right after this. Actually, coming up in just a few minutes. So we got to finish up here. Fact checker, come on.
Oh,
man.
no. What did I say?
Whatever you didn't
Ben.
know
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
Ben.
I'm sorry.
No, it's a good thing I have your back on most things, fact checker.
Yeah.
I sometimes
you all do. I appreciate
yes.
that.
Yeah, KG says the first limb lost in Star Wars was thanks to Ben Kenobi. Yeah, good stuff. Aw, really? He says because we gave it to him on technicality. All right, was there any more questions?
Yes.
Last question, and then we're going to get out of here, guys.
2 quick questions.
Because we got to get to this. I want to watch this movie. It's going to be funny.
So, Night Sky asked last week, she might be lurking tonight, said, what would you like to know?
Okay, you did tell me this question.
This
and
is
it
a
still
very
threw me off.
deep question.
What would I like to know?
Yeah.
Actually, the way you said it earlier, I asked you, I was like, what's the question? And the fact checker was like, wouldn't you? What was it?
I
what
just
would
read
you,
the question.
What would you like to know? And I
Yeah.
thought you were being like facetious and you were like, wouldn't you like to know? And I was
didn't
like,
say it that
I was
way.
so confused. I was like, what?
That's
I was
how
like,
you
yes,
heard
that's
it.
that's why I wanted. That's what I was asking.
I didn't get that you were confused.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, that's the question. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a good question. See?
What would I like to know?
Yeah.
That's a very broad. just
Exactly.
broad. Should we narrow this down, or are we just gonna?
No, I think you just
What would I
answer
like
based
to
off
know?
of that.
What would I like to know? I would like to know. There's a lot of things I'd like to know.
All right. What comes to mind first?
First of all, just to keep it Star Wars related,
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to know a lot of the behind the scenes decisions between KK and a lot of her and Jon Favreau, especially season 2 of Mandalorian.
Nice.
I would just love to be a fly on the wall in Lucasfilm and to really know, do we hype it up for how bad, is she really that bad in real life, or are we making it worse? Or is she actually that bad? I would love to know her decision making on a lot of this stuff. I'd love to
fair.
find out a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, what actually influenced her decisions, and to get a good understanding of why she destroyed Star Wars the way she did in some ways,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not totally destroyed, obviously, because we're here. We're still having fun. But, it could be a multi-billion-dollar at this point.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like to know.
right.
Keeping it Star
It's a good
Wars.
question.
I mean, there's lots of other things. I could go aliens and all that stuff, too. But we're going to keep it Star Wars. What about you, fact checker?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I can answer that. It's too broad for me. My
Wouldn't
mind
you like
kind
to
of
know?
just my mind just kind of explodes. So it's a good question. I'll keep pondering it.
Oh, you're not even going to answer.
No, I'm not gonna
okay.
answer.
Wow. What a cop out.
Well, we've got to move on.
What about what in Star Wars? I'm gonna make it specific.
man.
What in Star Wars would you like to know? Would you like to know more about Spaceballs too?
After I see Spaceballs 1,
that's
I can
true. You
answer
might
that.
not care. That's a great point.
What would I like to know? I would like to know if I don't know. I don't know. It's too deep.
What burning questions come to mind? If you could have an answer to anything in the galaxy, in the world, in history,
Oh gosh.
even if you went history based, what would you like to know?
Well, I'd like to look.
JFK? Would you like to know that? Would you like to know?
Sure.
I mean, these are burning questions. What's a burning question that you've always wanted
See,
to know?
you can't ask me that because then my mind just goes blank. I can think of stuff without people asking me, but once you ask, I just
You can't think of anything.
No, I can't. It all just vanishes
Okay,
quickly. I'm
well,
one of those people.
That's fine. In fact, I
Sorry.
guess I'll let you off the hook.
If something comes to mind, maybe during the member stream, I'll answer it.
Okay. Wow.
Can I get it? Okay. Thanks for letting me off the hook.
I'm not, but we will because we need to move on.
Yeah. Thank you. See, I told you.
No, it's fine. All right. I see some more comments here. We'll hit these last comments, then we're going to get out of here. And
We
if you
have
guys,
one more question.
Oh, we seriously do?
Yeah, I told you. That's why I was trying to.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even know. I thought that was the last one. I said it was the last one. I didn't realize. Geek Ledger has another comment here saying, I really hope with the rumor that Lewis Pullman is playing Lone Star and Princess Vespa's son. Yeah, that would make total sense. That they do a Kylo Ren parody, but instead of getting angry, he just cries like a baby. Yes. Oh, approved. I hope that rumor is true as well, because Lewis Pullman is the one who just starred in the new Avengers, or Thunderbolts, I guess you could say. Sorry, spoilers for people who haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, actually. But he was in that movie, and I heard he did a great job. I didn't even know that was Bill Pullman's son. So good on him. That's a great one. I think you might be onto something here. I really think that's going to happen, Geek. Are you from the future?
He might be.
Sometimes we get people in here, and I'm like, we get gonkers in here, and I'm like, do you know something that we don't?
I always assume that.
But no,
maybe my knowledge base is so small, but yet I'm the fact checker.
You can't even answer a question, so.
Well, exactly. But hey, Sargamoto feels the same way. So
okay.
I might be an enigma, but
no,
there's others
fine. I get
enigma'd too.
Sometimes we forget things live on air. It's the nature of live streaming.
Sure,
and it was a very broad question. I just tried to narrow it so I could answer it, because if you try to think too big on it, it's like, who created the galaxy?
Yeah, I mean, I can answer that.
I know, me too. But
so then
just saying.
Then I
but would
already
you want
answered
to see it?
Sure.
Okay, whatever. All right, we're not going to go back to
Ben Bravo has a question.
Yeah, what is that?
Old history question. What was the origin of Sith and Jedi? Were they the same at some point? I bet this was probably covered in one of the Star Wars books.
Old history question. Yeah, what is the origin of the Sith and Jedi? Yeah,
there's many Star Wars books.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Oh man, it depends in some ways. Legends versus canon. I don't know if canon necessarily have. I'm not as up to date with a lot of the canon stuff with this. I feel like Legends, though, it's a little convoluted in some ways. But the Sith, technically, and Bismo, back me up on this if I'm screwing this up. I know you got a lot, but of knowledge. Sorry, I didn't finish that statement. Bismo, you have a lot of knowledge. No. Technically, the Sith were a species on a planet, and dark side users, well, they didn't necessarily consider themselves dark side users, but they were, like, back in the old time, they were able to figure out how to use the Force, and there was a bunch of Force users all together, and then some splintered off, and those that splintered off didn't agree with how the Jedi, the light side, so they wanted to explore more of the dark side, so they explored more of the dark side, and they went to this planet, and this planet technically had a Sith race. They were a race of Sith, and I believe they were Force users as well, so then they kind of mingled together. The dark side users, did you look up more about this? Or
no.
Okay. The dark side users, and then, so they ended up kind of becoming and calling themselves the Sith, just as in general. Which kind of took on some different meanings, but so that's from what I understand, they were all kind of one until they splintered off because they weren't fully satisfied with just the light side, so they wanted to explore more. They thought the Force had more to offer, and that took them down a darker path.
Yeah.
And then that became a little bit more of a. And the Sith were technically a species, yes. If you look that up, they were a species, but then it became synonymous with the dark side users, Sith. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Nice.
So pretty sure the Sith came from Fallen Jedi. I don't necessarily know if they were called Jedi at that time.
Bismo just answered.
Oh, okay. There was, that's from the Legends book. There's stuff they were the Jedi, which is not. It was before the Jedi. Also, a dark Jedi visited that Sith planet and became the first Darth. Yes, thank you. That was a lot more elegant. So yes, it's kind of convoluted. They haven't fully explained it. That's in a book. That's in some books, Legends books, but they have not fully explained it in canon. But great question, Ben. There, yeah. FC, sure. I do like fact checker. Mind is an enigma. Yes, I completely agree with that.
You don't have to repeat that.
No, I wanted to. No.
Of course you did.
I'm running the ship. I'm flying the ship. Run it. We're shooting from the hip.
All right, you want the last question?
But to be fair, you're right. Sorry, Moto did say I feel you, fact checker. I'm the same way. Hashtag protect the fact checker. We always protect the fact checker, but we gotta throw some shade every once in a while.
That's fine. That's
No, I'm
fine.
just
I
joking.
might throw it back.
Do it. And then Darimoto said, "Dang, I learned some stuff." Yeah, I did too.
Oh, Geek Ledger was talking about the
Okay.
Sith.
Yeah. I think in Legends called the Dai Bendu originally, and then the Jedi, and then the Jedi. Okay.
Nice.
Knows even more.
Love it.
Great stuff, Geek Ledger. Thank you.
Yeah, these Gonkers are so stinking smart.
Absolutely. You guys are the smartest.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just a way for us to talk together
Exactly. Hang out
and hang out.
and learn.
Right. All right.
Make fun.
What's the last question?
Okay,
fact
last
checker?
question is from Hannah.
What is it?
She said, if you could be cast as any Star Wars character, who would you want to be cast as? And that could be any characters from any books, shows, or movies.
Ooh.
So who would you want to be cast?
Who would you want to be cast as?
Yeah.
That's a little different than who you think you would do a good job.
No, just, yeah. Who do you dream of
Who do I
playing
dream
in
of?
Star Wars? No, didn't mean it like that.
Don't make it weird.
Yeah.
We're good at that, though, fact checker. This one says we are nerds. Yes, you are exactly right. Proud of it. Not necessarily smart.
Oh, right. Right.
You guys are smart. We're not. You
Exactly.
Gonkers are the best. All right. I like the nerd glasses. Yes. All right. So who would I want to be cast as? Man, that is a tough one. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Luke, obviously, because that's like my hero growing up as a kid. I wouldn't love playing the whiny parts. I feel like Han Solo would be more fun to play, though.
Sure.
But I'm just not sure if I could pull off that gruff because I'm too happy-go-lucky. I really feel like Luke would be more my hopeful, happy style. I feel like I would work really well with him. Other than that, I think Hondo would be absolutely hilarious.
Oh, wow. Nice.
But there's so many characters. Again, this is very broad. There's a lot to choose from. So those were my top 3 right off the get-go. Although Obi-Wan Kenobi, again, they're all so good. It's hard to pick.
Yeah.
I don't
try and narrow it down.
Yeah, at least I do. All right, no. What's yours, fact checker?
The first one that came to mind would be Leia.
Cara Dune.
No.
Oh, I was gonna guess that one. Sorry.
Yeah, just because I don't know. I grew up in the princess age, so I've always liked princesses, and she was Princess Leia. So that sounds fun to me.
Yeah, that's great. You get kind of have the snarky attitude for it too.
Wow.
Not like in a bad way. Just saying, like you could dish it out. Is what I'm saying.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not an actress. So.
Well, yeah, but this is hypothetical. We're
Yes,
having fun.
exactly. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
I could see that. What's the follow up? What's a one would you go if you could?
Oh.
Did you Padme or she does wear some fun dresses and stuff?
Yeah,
I feel like
I
you
do
would
like the
enjoy that.
costumes. Yeah, that would be really, really pretty and girly and yeah, fun
Yeah,
for sure. And they were in Italy, so can't go wrong
yeah,
filming
that's
there.
true. You would like that quite a bit.
And that scenery, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Italia. All right, Gonkers. Who would you guys
know,
go with,
yeah.
Gonkers? I want to hear from you. Oh man, is it? We got to switch though here real soon. But we're finishing this up, guys.
Yeah.
Let us know who would you want. All right. Sonia says, me, I've always dreamed of playing as the daughter of the scavenger girl Rey and Kylo Ren, aka Ben Solo, or I would be the daughter of the Mandalorian Din Djarin and Bo-Katan. Yeah, that would be great. That's a good answer for sure.
Yeah.
Great
Good
stuff.
stuff.
Answer, Sonia. Tamergan says, well, someone has to save the Sant guy's skins when things get off target. Hashtag protect the fact checker. You are absolutely right, Tamerkans. We do. And that's the irony of the name, right? The fact checker keeps us in line.
And the Gonkers keep us all in line.
Yeah. Oh, I guess. Yeah, that's more what she was saying,
I
wasn't
think
it?
so.
But you're kind of you're in with the Gonkers in a lot of
yeah.
ways. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always team Gonkers.
Yeah, obviously. You're kind of like their leader in some ways.
I don't
Maybe
know
not
about that.
You're the voice of the Gonkers.
Sometimes.
Maybe I could say that.
Yeah.
Like the spokesperson.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Sure.
All right.
Oh, nice.
KG says I could see myself as Clea or Kay Vest because the name is already
perfect.
there. That's true.
Clever.
That is a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be great.
Tamerkan said, I'd like to play a villain. Ooh, that would be fun.
Actually, they say some of the nicest people can
Yeah.
play like the best villains
because they
I
can
would
tap
probably-
into a side they don't normally show.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great one, man. I do like that. That would be fun. It would be fun to play a villain. I would like to play a villain at some point. Actually, if you catch our Escape from Narkina 5 episode video, I do play a bit of a villain, but more of a goofy one than anything.
It's a multi-accent villain.
Okay, and Oscar, yes. Yeah, it kind of drifts a little bit, but hey, it works. Oscar says,
Wilmon.
Which one's Willman again? Why am I?
Well, from Andor, right?
Andor. Yeah. No,
That's
for sure.
Awesome.
That's a great character.
Yeah.
And a lot more to him than what I originally thought from season 1.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
beginning.
Which is great that, again, this kind of side character, you saw the importance.
Just don't sniff that stuff.
Yeah, no.
don't let what's his name corrupt you.
Yeah.
Duke says, I'd be an overly sarcastic droid.
I love that. That would be so fun too.
Oh, I came up with one. I want to be the Gonk droid. Gonk. But my Gonk droid, I would want, well, it's not really in anything, but now I'm creating a new character. Never mind, I'm going off the beaten path. We're sticking to it. Stay on target.
Good to have you, Duke.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in, Duke. Benjamin says, maybe one of the clones from Clone Wars or Ezra. Ooh, Ezra would be great.
Oh, wow.
Chewie would be fun because they wouldn't have to memorize speaking lines. Actually, he did. He said all those lines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And the different
Peter
inflections
Mayhew
or whatever
said all of the lines.
Okay, he's
and then
good.
And then they overdubbed it, so Han technically did have dialogue to go off of. It is funny to hear it. You can, if you go and look up some of the behind the scenes, he says certain things, and you're like, "Well, that just sounds weird," but it's there. So yeah, but nowadays you probably wouldn't even have to memorize them.
Yeah.
You could just make the sounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tamerkin said villains always get the cool accents.
Yes.
Good point.
That's a great point.
She's good at accents too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Duke says, nice. What type though? Says KG. To Duke. Tamerkin says, villains always get to go. Oh yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
Sorry, I was just kind of
you're jumping.
leading the witness.
No, you're good. No, I was just behind. Geek Ledger says, probably Cal. Ooh, Cal Kestis. That's a great one.
Or Kanan.
Or Kanan Jarrus for the same reason as K, due to my given name being Caleb.
Oh, fun.
Nice to meet you, Caleb.
Yeah, officially.
We're learning about you. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Cal and Caleb Doom is technically Kanan Jarrus.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, nice.
And Cal.
Is there a
Caleb,
D name in Star Wars?
Is there a D name?
Well, I mean, a character with a
that
D.
starts with a D.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna draw a blank.
See, it happens.
Yeah, well, very specific. Not a very general term.
Well, that you could do the same thing that Geek Ledger Caleb is doing.
Well, I mean, Din Djarin. I guess I could
there you go.
Din Djarin.
Or Dedra. Nice.
Wow.
Darth Vader. Wow. Okay.
Darth Vader. Yeah.
They're awesome.
They're gonna get you. This is what happens.
They'll help you out.
Well, or call you out.
I think that's what they're doing.
That's a great answer, Geek Ledger. Ben.
Yep.
I wouldn't have speaking lines. Huh? It would take a lot of the pressure off, at least. A lot of physical acting. KG says, don't sniff the Rhino kids. Yes. Or eat silica packets. Oh, if you don't get that joke, it's from a few weeks ago. Absolutely hilarious. Go back and watch every single one of our episodes.
Dan's rant.
Oh, man. Yep. Good stuff.
All right. Yeah. Bisma's got to charge his phone for the watch party.
Yeah, we got to get going, guys.
Yep.
Darth Vader. Yep. These are all the D names. Dedra, Din Djarin. Yep. They're calling you out.
Darth Maul, D3PO.
D3PO? Wow.
D is for dark side.
What? That's not even a thing. Okay.
Dustin and Conkers are always right.
You're always right. I'm so sorry I said anything.
Yeah. Great question from Hannah. And yeah, good conversation.
Great question. Great answer. That's from the. Do you remember that when I'm going off here?
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't. But famous YouTuber who did his own animated show.
Oh,
Monday.
Yeah.
He interviewed Martin Freeman.
That's right.
And he was so nervous when he interviewed him. What's his name? Do you remember his name?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I met him.
Olin Rogers.
Yes, good job.
Olin Rogers. Okay.
Oh, Zaramoto. Yeah.
If you don't know who Olin Rogers is, absolutely hilarious. Definitely worth.
It's a Monday.
Look up It's a Monday from Olin Rogers.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. He's done some great stuff. And he got some animated shows. Man, good on him. Last Space is what it's called, or
Final Space.
Final Space. That is okay. Thank you. Anyway, he was interviewing the legend Martin Freeman for the Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah.
And he was so nervous. He asked him, and he was like, he said after he asked the question, and then Martin Freeman answers it. He was like, great question. Great answer. And the guy's like, he's like, well, you can't just, Martin Freeman's like, you can't just
compliment yourself. I think he said it the other way. Great answer.
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah. That's what it was. Okay. It was so funny. If you go watch that interview, look up Olin Rogers' interview as Martin Freeman for The Hobbit, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it.
Good
Yeah.
YouTube stuff there. All right, yeah, I think
good stuff.
Oh, well, Geek Ledger's saying the Silver Protocol droid from the Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah. The first one, the one that, that walks in the room. Yeah, and then they get, good stuff.
Perfect.
Olin Rogers, Zarimoto, thank you.
Oh, the D3PO was TC-14.
Oh, okay. The fans dubbed her D3PO after the trailer.
Nice.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
We got to get on his level.
Yeah, we do, man. You gonkers are on a whole nother level.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of whole nother levels, we got to get the gonk out of here.
Yep.
I think we covered all the questions, though, right?
Yeah.
All
Let
right.
me double check.
We're good on the questions.
Oh, wait. Bismo just asked.
Bismo, what are you doing? Whenever you said we had to go. What is it? What's the last
do
one?
you know the way of Debendu?
Yes.
Is that a Spaceballs thing?
We're the one in the middle. No, the Bendu is from Rebels. I don't have time to explain this to the fact checker.
Shoot, I knew that. No, I knew it, but the way he phrased it sounded like something
it
you'd
sounds
hear
like
in Spaceballs.
Do you know the way? That's like the, what is it? Something Knuckles. I forget. It's a popular thing online. Anyway, yes, I'm the one in the middle. That's what he says. The Bendu says. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, great question, Bismo. And we're gonna keep moving on though. We got to get to this live stream so we can watch Spaceballs with all you gonkers. Show me the way. Yes, that's what it is. Thank you, Duke. Yes. You know the way. Show me the way. So good. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get the gonk on out of here. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Stay on Target. We can't wait to be with you again next week. Same time, same place. Also, this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be live with Bismo doing a live stream of Battlefront 2, talking all things possible Battlefront 3. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a blast, and we're gonna have a fun time. So thank you guys for being with us tonight. Don't forget, become a member. We're going to be watching Spaceballs right after this, and we're going to be talking to all you guys the whole time. Fact Checker's going to give her raw reactions to seeing it for the first time.
Gosh.
It's going to be great.
Yep.
And we just thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and comment below if you're watching this later. We appreciate you guys so much. Have a great night. We'll catch you next time. Don't forget to always stay on target. Outro.
All right, my question is, will we ever get a true and good love story in Star Wars?
That's what you want to know.
That's what I want to know. We've had a few, but I need more.
Do you want a happy ending?
Yeah.
Obviously. That's a good one. Good job, Fact Checker.
All right.
Now that we're done with the stream, you figured it out. May the Schwartz be with you. On to the next one.